Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my friends. Welcome once again to the best show on the planet, the Today Show with me, Khalid Mohammed. How are you guys? I hope you're all fine and well. We've got a great show for you today. Not only do we have shades of the past, historical history. We also have an author who's going to talk about sitting together as a family and eating food. That sounds very, very enticing and delicious as well. So guys, stick around for that. Right, let's get down to business for our first guest, shall we? MashaAllah. Nas Kabir, he's a global producer and he wants to put together a project called the Saladin Project, which is going to feature the great man himself, Salahuddin Yusuf Ayub. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother. Thank you for being here.
Walaikum salam, Brother Khalil. It's an absolute pleasure to be here and to hopefully talk about our project and let your viewers see what we're all about.
Alhamdulillah, we're going to be talking about one of the greatest heroes in history, somebody who I've always been obsessed about, Salahuddin. But before we do that, I can't get ahead of myself now. Tell us about your experiences and the different work you've done, because you've been involved in a very important project for the last couple of years or so. Please tell us about that.
Yes, absolutely. So I was one of the senior producers of the 1001 Inventions exhibition.
Ooh.
So I'm sure most of your viewers will know that because it toured the UK and then into Europe, Middle East, Far East and US. So I'm sure a lot of people will have heard about it. So the subject is all about the golden age of Muslim civilization. As we know, in the West at the time, it was the Dark Ages.
Yes.
Not much happened, right?
Not a lot.
Not a
No,
lot,
there's a
not
lot of dark stuff.
But in the East, it was all about enlightenment, progressing science and culture and technology. And so that's what we were celebrating, all the pioneers,
Yes.
Men and women of all faiths coming together to further every aspect of life.
Alhamdulillah, from science to botany to astronomy to medicine to all of, because I've been to the website, alhamdulillah, many years ago, because I am a massive fan of that website, a massive fan of the entire exhibition. I love that stuff. It really something I really enjoy. And during your tenure on this particular project, you were rubbing shoulders with some very interesting and famous individuals. Can you tell us who they were, inshallah?
Absolutely, yes. So what what we call a mini feature film starring Sir Ben Kingsley.
Oh, yes.
So we hired him to be part of the... He was actually playing the part of Al-Jazari. And the film was about 12-minute long mini feature film.
Yes.
Downloaded 20 million times in the first...
20 million
yeah, 20 million times in the first
Allahu
year.
Akbar.
So that was amazing. So we wanted to make sure we started the whole world tour with a real bang and go out there. It's such an important topic, hadn't been dealt with actually by anyone else.
Yes.
So it's totally new and unique. And for us, we had to go with a bang. And so Ben Kingsley came on board and basically that was the rest was history after he got involved actually. So we used him for promotion, and he was also on the cinema screens at the exhibition as part of the introduction piece.
Alhamdulillah. There was another individual whose last time on screen was part of the exhibition as well. Please tell us about that
Sadly,
individual.
yes, the late Omar Sharif, legendary actor, and he was on set with our film, and he played, well, actually he starred in the film about Ibn al-Haytham.
Ibn al-Haytham.
The grandfather of optics.
Optics, a camera,
The camera obscura, yes, absolutely,
that's
which
right.
led to modern day cameras.
Yeah.
So yes, he played that part, and then that was his last film, sadly. It's a real shame, but great moment for us to have him working with us and helping us to promote the show. Yeah, absolutely.
So you're a serious dude with a serious piece of experience, serious history, so you know what you're talking about. So this new project about Salahuddin is in safe hands. Please tell us about your vision for this history of Salahuddin, inshallah.
The Saladin exhibition, we're calling it the Exhibition of Saladin. The strapline or slogan, if you prefer, is celebrate the man, not the myth. So Western media creates myths about these historical heroes of the past. So we're here to tell the truth. We're here to give a more accurate portrayal of this great man and how he was a pious, a noble man, not some warmongering person who went around slaughtering everybody, which is what the West will tell you. So that's the objective. And what we're trying to do is reinstill pride in Muslim heritage.
Yes.
There are great exhibitions all over the world across the Western world, should I say, for people like the Terracotta Warriors. You've got Abraham Lincoln. You've got Catherine the Great. You've got Hercules. So there's all these great exhibitions around the world aimed at Western audiences. Where is our hero? Where is the person that we can look up to and celebrate? And for our young people to say, he was a great man.
Yes.
I'd love to look up to him and achieve something amazing and have a legacy.
Yeah.
And we don't have that type of hero figure.
No, not at the moment. Yes, we do need to propel individuals of his virtue, his chivalry. I know some parts of the West, more back in the day, he was considered to be a true knight because of the way he was so magnanimous. He was merciful, taking Jerusalem. He didn't commit a slaughter. He was very merciful. He let people go. And he was, of course, following the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, example of entering Mecca and not taking revenge on the inhabitants.
Exactly. And if you look at the three crusades, the first crusade, when the Franks won, what did they do? They slaughtered every man, woman and child.
And they also slaughtered the horses, the Christians, as well as the Jews as well, because people ran into their synagogues, they ran into their churches, but because they couldn't distinguish between Christian, Muslim and Jew, because they were all just the same,
for them,
they couldn't tell the difference.
It was just the same.
Yeah.
But then when Saladin won the Battle of Hattin.
Yes,
that famous battle, one of the most famous battles in our history. He gave passage to everybody to leave peacefully.
Yes.
So this Western view of Saladin is not very accurate. And I think the only film that sort of portrayed him in a positive light was Kingdom of Heaven. And so that gave
Scott,
that sort of redressed the balance slightly. But our objective is to make sure that we create an accurate narrative, telling people the story in as much truth as possible, and creating pride and cross-cultural dialogue and social cohesion. I think these things are really important. So we're not just always celebrating Western figures. We've got figures of our own that we can celebrate.
Put them front and center. Right, we've got a video that's going to give us an idea of what the exhibition is going to be like. It's a fly-through. So let's see that one now, inshallah.
Saladin al-Ayyubi, an interactive exhibition that brings visitors face-to-face with Saladin Yusuf bin Ayyub, the historical man known as Saladin, to introduce them to his life, conquests, and legacy. Aimed at a variety of individuals, families, schools, historians, tourists, and those interested in history in general, this exhibition will be seen as a fun learning experience, delving into the life and times of Saladin and some of the greatest crusades of the past, and how they shaped the region and wider world. Let's go on a virtual tour of the exhibition sections. The entrance to the exhibition takes us back to the Middle Ages using theme, design, and architecture of the era. The first station, a dark room with a projected life-size hologram of Saladin, where he introduces himself to visitors and retells a 5-minute story of his life and achievements. The visitor moves to learn about replicas of the various weapons and armor used in the battles of Saladin, including swords, helmets, spears, and others. At a digital station, visitors sit around an ancient medieval table with a projected image of one of Saladin's top generals who gives a talk about life and the struggles faced during the Crusades and battle strategies utilized. The next stop is a desert tent identical to the tents used by Saladin during the Crusades. We move on to the interactive digital mirror station, which allows visitors to try on digital versions of the costumes and armor worn by Saladin and his troops. The digital mirror displays an image of what you would look like if you were a part of Saladin's army dressed in battle costume. In another station are life-sized figurines of the most prominent historical figures of that era, such as Moses Maimonides, King Richard I, known as Lionheart, King of France Philip II, and others. Then, the Citadel of Saladin, replica of this castle, which was named after Saladin. The Arabs, the Byzantines, and the Crusaders fought to control this castle. The castle was renamed in 1957 in honor of Saladin, who liberated it in 1188. We move to motion sensor digital gaming. These are screen-based edutainment games aimed at educating visitors about the Crusades. Visitors stand in front of a Kinect sensor, which picks up body movement as they interact with the gameplay. There is a leaderboard on screen, so the photo of the highest scoring players appears on screen. We remain in the heart of the battle with another digital game, but this time a two-player game where visitors use battle strategy to outwit their opponents. Visitors have the choice of being Saladin or Richard the Lionheart and use their battle strategies and weaponry to engage in a virtual strategic battle. The aim of this game is to educate visitors about the types of weaponry and battle tactics used during the medieval period. The exhibition also includes a station dedicated to interactive workshops that attract school groups visiting the exhibition. In an adjacent section, a high-quality three-dimensional industrial printer enables visitors to choose pre-prepared exhibition designs and print them as 3D souvenirs to always remember their enjoyable experience. The visitor can also head to a dedicated kiosk to watch historical documentary videos, which deeply expand on the life of Saladin. Next to it is another interactive booth that enables visitors to record a short video of themselves about their impressions and experience at the exhibition and how it can be improved. The exhibition also includes a cafe dedicated to serving drinks and snacks, and a gift shop selling a range of content relevant merchandise. Thus ends our virtual tour at Saladin al-Ayyubi exhibition. We hope to meet you soon on a real tour.
Alhamdulillah, that looks absolutely fantastic. I wish I was there right now. You've certainly got an amazing vision. We can see the idea of what you're wanting to do. Tell us, how's it going to happen? Where's it going to go? Is it going to be a global thing? Is it going to tour for different cities? Tell us what your vision is, please, brother.
So my vision for this exhibition is a global tour in a similar fashion to 1001 Inventions. That was a 20-city world tour launched at the Science Museum, and then it went around the world to predominantly museums and event venues. So I have the sort of same vision for that, because to replicate that would be easy for me. And it will go into war museums, for example, heritage and culture museums, those types of museum, and then wherever there is not a museum of that type in a city, it could go into an exhibition venue or hall. So there's lots of different options in terms of venues. Our objective is to create at least a 5-year world tour, anything between 5 and 10 years, because this has such huge legs that it can just keep going and going and going. And we've got to cover, the Muslim world is humongous now.
Yes, of course.
So we've got to keep going into every we've got to take it to the people, wherever they may be. So the objective is either launch, depending on where the funding and sponsors come from, my objective would be to launch either in London or somewhere in the Middle East, which is where I think it would be the right platform for it to launch for the world tour.
Right, so how can our viewers get involved? Because this is at the planning stage. You've pretty much done everything. You've done all the research. We can see what the vision is going. What happens next? What do you need now to make this actually a reality?
Okay, so this is the most important part.
Yes.
So we've got to a stage where a lot of the research is done, as you saw. The concept video is ready. It's actually ready to launch. It's right at that production phase. Now we just need that funding and the sponsors to come on board to turn it into a reality. I know you have a lot of high net worth individuals that watch this show and are linked to the channel, and I'm sure someone or a company would love to be associated with this and have their name associated with it and be like either world sponsor, country sponsor, main funder. It doesn't really matter, and we can talk about that in more detail. But yes, that's where we're at. We're looking for the money men to come in, so to speak, and we can take this to the world and to the people and retell history accurately.
Alhamdulillah. People want to get in touch with you personally. How can they do that?
There's two ways. They can contact me on Facebook. My name is Naz Kabir, as you already know, and that's been on screen, I think.
Yeah.
Or through my email address. Should I give
Yes,
that now?
yes, please go ahead.
So it's eventnation2023@gmail.com.
Eventnation2023@gmail.com.
That's me.
Okay, and this exhibition is so sorely needed, especially in this present time where we need heroes, we need to be inspired, we need to have these beautiful historical characters thrown to where they belong, you know, at the forefront of history, the way that they were so amazing, the differences they make, the examples they set. SubhanAllah, it absolutely is an amazing exhibition. I wish you all the best with it, brother. Anything I can do to help, by all means, let me know,
Absolutely.
inshallah.
No, I'll be in touch, don't you worry.
Oh, yes, brother Naz. Thank you so much. Right, guys. Whoa. That's one of my favorite subjects as well. So meeting this brother is amazing for me. Listen, we're going to go for a quick break, but please don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a short while.